You've felt it before. That sudden emptiness when someone vanishes from your life without a word. Not a fight, not a goodbye, not even a hint. Just gone. And your mind races. Did I do something wrong? Did they stop caring? Am I not enough? Here's the truth that no one tells you. They're not leaving because of you. They're leaving because their path has shifted in a way that words could never capture. They're walking toward clarity, and staying to explain themselves would only weigh them down. But here's the twist. Their silence is not a loss. It's an invitation to see what you've been blind to feel what you've been avoiding, and to grow in ways you couldn't imagine if you're willing to pay attention. And the moment you realize this, everything begins to change. You might be asking yourself, why not just explain? That seems fair, right? But the truth is, explanation can trap more than it frees. Words are heavy. Words can distort energy. Words can ignite arguments, create resistance, and anchor people in patterns they are trying to escape. And when someone is awakening, when someone is moving through higher awareness, they know this all too well. They have felt the weight of conversations that changed nothing, that only kept them tethered to confusion and chaos, and so they choose silence. They walk quietly, not out of anger or indifference, but out of a deep unseen wisdom that knows the only way forward is to move unburdened. And in that silence, there is a hidden truth waiting for you, one that can only be discovered if you stop chasing and start observing. Imagine your life as a vast, foggy forest. Every relationship, every connection is a path winding through the trees. And then, without warning, someone steps off the path and disappears into the mist. You call out. You beg for answers. You search for explanations. But the fog swallows your voice. And here's what most people don't realize, that fog isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to show you a new perspective. The person who walks away has seen what you cannot yet see. They are moving into clarity, leaving behind patterns that no longer serve them, leaving behind connections that cannot evolve at the pace of their growth. And if you're honest, you'll realize that part of your own growth begins the moment you stop demanding explanations and start noticing the lessons hidden in absence. There's another layer most people miss. Walking away without a word isn't just about personal energy, it's about timing. Some truths cannot be explained until they are lived. Some changes cannot be understood until you've experienced them for yourself. And in the silence, in that absence that feels like rejection, there is a secret gift, the chance to see reality unfiltered. You are forced to confront your own patterns, your own attachments, your own fears. And once you do, the clarity that emerges is far more powerful than any apology, any reason, any argument could ever be. But here's the catch. Not everyone is ready to receive it, and most people miss it entirely because they're too focused on the absence rather than what it reveals. Now think about energy. Every person carries a frequency, a rhythm that can uplift or drain, harmonize or disrupt. Those who are awakening spiritually have learned to guard theirs fiercely. They cannot afford to remain where energy is stagnant, where negativity lingers, where cycles of drama continue to repeat. And when someone steps away silently, it's not a punishment, it's a protective measure, a shield. They are not rejecting you. They are preserving their own clarity. And if you can begin to understand that, you'll start seeing that these departures are not endings at all, they are recalibrations. They are subtle nudges from life whispering, pay attention, shift your focus, adjust your path. And the moment you realize this, the way you perceive absence completely transforms. But the real shift comes in the way you respond. Here's something most people never notice. Leaving without an explanation is not weakness, it's courage. It's courage because it defies expectation, because it rejects the comfort of validation, because it honors the unseen path over the immediate need to be understood. And it's here, in this space of silent bravery, that the most profound teaching occurs. You may feel abandoned, frustrated, or even betrayed. But the truth is, their absence is a mirror reflecting your own attachments, your own expectations, your own resistance to change. And the moment you see that, a new kind of freedom begins to surface, one that doesn't rely on anyone else's presence, opinion, or approval. Let's dig even deeper. Think about boundaries. Real unspoken boundaries are like walls made of air, invisible yet impenetrable. Spiritual people erect these walls around their energy, their attention, their focus. They walk away without saying a word, because words cannot enforce boundaries as effectively as distance. Distance becomes the message. Absence becomes the teacher. And here's the insight most people overlook. When someone exits quietly, it forces a confrontation with yourself. It forces you to evaluate, where am I overextending? Where am I depending too much on external validation? Where am I holding on to what no longer belongs to me? And if you allow yourself to sit in that discomfort, you'll uncover a truth that would have remained hidden in noise, conversation, or attachment. And fear plays a role too. The fear of being left behind, the fear of being forgotten. But when the spiritually aware step away, they are not running from fear. They are moving with confidence, trusting the flow of their own evolution, trusting that the universe or life itself has a rhythm beyond comprehension. Their silence is not avoidance. It's a quiet demonstration of trust, a bold statement that growth cannot be slowed, that energy cannot be wasted, that clarity cannot be compromised. And the moment you grasp this, you realize that the absence you feared may actually be the catalyst for the clarity you need, though it will take courage to let that lesson unfold fully. There's also a subtle art in the unspoken. Some lessons are far more powerful when absorbed without dialogue. Sometimes words dilute power. Sometimes explanations anchor emotions in confusion instead of liberating them. The spiritually awake understand this instinctively. They leave quietly because the impact of their presence, and even their absence, carries more weight than any argument or apology could. And when you feel that weight, that silent nudge, you begin to notice patterns you would have ignored. You start seeing what was always right in front of you, but hidden beneath noise, distraction, and attachment. And this realization is just the beginning of a shift that will quietly, invisibly, but undeniably change everything. And here's the final secret most people miss. When someone walks away without explaining, it is rarely about ending a connection. It's about evolution. Theirs, yours, and the spaces in between. Their departure is a clearing. It is a subtle, deliberate opening that creates room for clarity, alignment, and growth. You might not see it immediately. You might feel the sting of absence, the ache of unanswered questions. But over time, that space reveals what mattered, what was holding you back, and what is ready to rise to the next level of awareness. The shift is silent, slow, but transformative beyond measure. And once you embrace it, you'll never look at departure the same way again. So when someone walks away quietly, don't chase them. Don't demand answers. Don't spiral into why me. Instead, pause, observe, reflect. Their silence is not a void, it is a gift. It is a challenge to examine your own energy, your own patterns, and your own growth. Use it. Lean into it. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What do I need to release to step into clarity? And as you answer, you will discover something remarkable. Your peace is not dependent on explanations. Your clarity is not dependent on validation, and your growth is not dependent on anyone staying. In a world obsessed with answers, the greatest lessons are often found in quiet absence. And when you finally embrace that, you'll see it clearly. Those who leave are not taking from you, they are showing you the path to your own liberation. Your journey does not require approval, your energy does not require justification, and your evolution does not require permission. And when you finally understand this, silence will no longer feel like loss, it will feel like freedom. Step into that freedom. Reclaim your energy. Trust the process unfolding within you, and watch as life, without explanations, begins to make sense in ways words could never capture.